Let's talk about some of the basic alternative systems for issue of currency. So we would be focusing on 5 such systems today. The very first system that we would be moving forward with is a very simple system which is known as fixed fiduciary system. Now what happens under the fixed fiduciary system? It is one of the oldest systems that exist, and under this system the idea is that a country would issue certain quantity of notes without any reserve. That means the notes would be issued, but these notes would be within the prescribed boundary. That means there is no gold backing or there is no silver backing for the currency or the notes that have been issued. Now this is one of the oldest system that has existed. The another interesting aspect about this system is that the upper limit to the quantity which is given is known as the fiduciary limit. So this is the upper limit for the quantity that is there, and this has to be 100% metallic reserve, and therefore over the years many of the country have adopted this system. Some of the best advantage we could say of this system is that it has the strictest control over the issue of note or control of inflation, and therefore it is highly advantageous. Also, there is a lot of confidence among the people when you have a fixed fiduciary system. The another important aspect because of which the fixed fiduciary system has not been successful is, firstly, there has to be a lot of wastage, because against this currency that is being issued there is a kind of huge amount of gold that is unnecessarily piled up, and therefore a lot of wastage. And also the system is inelastic. That means the money supply could not be increased easily even if the trade or the industry is expanding. So despite the fact that economy is growing, trade is happening, industries are coming up, the money supply would not be created, and therefore the system, I would say, is here inelastic, and this is one of the major disadvantage, the wastage that is being piled up as the gold reserves, and the inelastic nature. Despite of the fact the growth of the economy is happening, the money supply is not being increased, are two of the major disadvantages because of which the fixed fiduciary system is not being successful. The next important system that we talk about is the maximum limit system. What do we mean by a maximum limit system? This system was initially adopted in France, and later on it was operational in numerous other countries. Now when the first time this system was introduced, there was a maximum limit. As the name suggests, that means the notes were issued without any reserve. So there was no reserve that was there in the form of gold or silver, and the currency was issued. As the system came about, there was the permission from the legislature that was required. So it had two important advantages. Firstly, there was freedom. The countries could utilize anything for note issue, and there was complete freedom with regards to the reserve. Since there was no reserve, there was a lot of freedom. The second was the sense of keeping the reserve of gold is in a kind of unproductive form could be reduced to minimum. Since there is no requirement to keep the gold as a system, this requirement was reduced a lot, and therefore the economy benefited. But this maximum limit system had its own disadvantage. Similar to the fixed fiduciary system, this system is inelastic because there are problems which are created when the economy is going up and the money supply cannot be increased. However, here there has been a danger of inflation. This was not the case in the fixed fiduciary system. Under the fixed fiduciary system, there was control on the inflation. Under a maximum limit system, there is no control over the inflation, and there is always a danger of rising prices. So rising prices or inflation are one of the major challenges we could say that a maximum limit system faces. Just to summarize the system again, you are issuing the notes without any reserve. So there is no backing, no reserve system that is being backed up, and then despite of that there has been a issue of notes that has been seen. The next interesting concept is the proportional fraction reserve system. The proportional fraction reserve system says that there is a condition where there is a gold reserve which is around 20 to 25%. So 20 to 40% we could say is the gold reserves. Against that gold there is the issuance of the notes, and therefore it is known as proportional reserve system, or also known as the proportional fractional system, because a fraction of that is being backed up by the gold reserves that is there. So in the maximum limit system there was no gold backing. In the proportional reserve system there is 25 to 40% backing that is being done by the gold, and the remaining part of the issuance of the system is being backed by either the government securities that are there, or they are being backed by the commercial papers. So those are the two reasons which we say are important to understand the backing. So firstly, 20 to 40% backing by the gold, and the remaining backing by either the government securities or the commercial papers that are there. So this process is relatively simple in contrast to the fixed fiduciary system and the maximum limit system. This system is elastic in nature and therefore it is advantageous. So in the times of economic growth, the money supply could be increased, and therefore we say this is elastic in nature, and therefore one of the advantages of proportional reserve system. However, there is few major disadvantages that proportional reserve system has. Firstly, it is uneconomical because it is a kind of unproductive gold reserve that you are keeping, similar to what we have talked about in the fixed fiduciary system. When you are keeping certain gold reserve, it is unproductive. And then there is a multiplier effect that is seen. The multiplier effect, what does it mean? The system here, the proportional reserve system, creates a reverse multiplier effect. That means in an event where the central bank's stock of gold is there, the note issue contracts more than the proportion that is there. Okay, and this contraction would have an impact on the trade and the industries. So that is one of the major disadvantage of a proportional reserve system. Also, this system turns out to be useless in times of financial crisis because the gold reserve is considerably less than the comparison of the notes being issued. So there is inadequacy that would be seen in the times of financial crisis. The next important concept that we understand here is another important system, which is proportional reserve not based on gold. Now in developing nations like India, this system was set up in 1956, and here the idea was note issuance would be in form of a reserve which would be held partly in gold and partly in foreign currencies. So that was the initial step. However, later we moved on to a new system which we would understand in a while. But the initial system was a proportional reserve not based on gold. That means we are not relying 100% on the gold reserve, but we are partly relying onto a gold, and a part of it would rely on the foreign currencies that would be there. Now definitely this system would be economical. It would be elastic in contrast to the fixed fiduciary and the maximum limit system. This system is relatively better because it is elastic in nature, and also a very important aspect is exchange rate stability. This system would provide exchange rate stability. Now how does it actually happen? For instance, a country like India, which is suffering from a deficit balance of payment, what would happen? In that case, the currency would tend to fall, the Indian currency would tend to fall, and this could be prevented by selling off the foreign currencies. And therefore, this is a system where exchange rate stability can actually be maintained. However, there are disadvantages which are associated with the proportional reserve system not based on gold, and one of the major disadvantage is inflation. So in order to check the inherent inflationary potential that a nation has, the proportional prices needs to be checked rather than a constantly rising prices and a falling value of the money that is seen. And finally, we have one of the most important systems that is in practice today, and that is the minimum reserve system. Rather than the maximum limit system and a fixed fiduciary system, this system is highly important, because what we are trying to do in this system is we are trying to issue notes without limit against the government securities or the commercially approved papers. So either the commercial papers or the government approved security is there, but there is also a legal obligation to have a minimum amount of gold as well as foreign currencies. So we need to have the minimum amount of gold, the minimum amount of foreign currencies, which would also be important for issuing of the currency. But against the notes cannot be issued without the limit against the government securities or the commercial papers that are there. So again, this system is elastic as the proportional reserve system. The proportional reserve system not based on gold. Similarly, minimum reserve system is elastic in nature. It is highly flexible. In India, this is useful because when we have foreign currencies as one of the reserve systems, we are trying to facilitate the various actions which relate to inflationary financing, and also use of foreign currency in order to meet the foreign exchange requirements of the 5-year plans and the various development projects. Now no more 5-year plans, so the development projects. Okay, so that is the basic idea under minimum reserve system. But yet this minimum reserve system has its own disadvantage. The first disadvantage is the inflationary potential that it has. The system is dangerous because of the similar inherent inflationary potential similar to the proportional reserve system not based on gold that we discussed. And the next is the system ignores the currency reserves in maintaining people's confidence in the monetary system. So those are some of the criticisms that we see for a minimum reserve system. Whatever system a country utilizes as an alternative system against the issuance of the currency in the nation should be based on 4 basic parameters. And what are those 4 basic parameters? The first is definitely the economy of the nation. The second is the elastic or the inelastic nature depending on the demand and the supply in the nation. The third is the safety. And the fourth important is the stability. So for our perspective, stability becomes one of the major criteria, and therefore minimum reserve system is one of the major systems that we have considered as an alternative system for issuance of currency. We would be covering many more interesting topics in economics. Stay tuned for future updates from our side. Have a wonderful day ahead.